Well, alright, comic book collectors of Sheffield. Thanks for joining me once again. We're doing something a little different this week, as I've recently picked up some bound comics. So I thought while we're looking at those, we'd look at some of the other bound stuff I have in my collection as well. So first off, these are the ones I've picked up recently. Rather ironically, this first set is Hercules Unbound. This was a 12-issue series from DC back in the late 70s. All 12 issues are here. Some of these issues also feature characters that wouldn't look out of place in a Commandy comic. And we also get appearances from the Atomic Knights. We also get the 3-issue series Champion Sports. And then the 6 issues of Strange Sports Stories. Now, I thought these sports stories might have been reprints from some of the early Brave and the Bold issues, but I think they're all new to these series. Let me know if I'm wrong about that though. The next volume is called Starfire. And this has the 8-issue series called Starfire in it. It's worth mentioning that this Starfire is a completely different character to that of Koriand'r that appeared in the new Teen Titans. Then we get the 4-issue Prez series. The first and indeed final issue of the Sherlock Holmes series that DC intended to publish. The 4 issues of Stalker. And lastly, the 4-issue reprint series Legion of Superheroes. The next volume is Creepy 1978. This should be every issue published during that year, although there were some months where they didn't publish an issue. I'll just show you a few of the standout covers here. Issue 96 is the Alien Encounters issue. There's issue 100. 101 is the Jaws of Death special issue. And 102 is the Giant All Monster issue. Next we'll get into the stuff I've had for a little while. First up, these two Marvel collections. Back in the 70s, that's those of us in the UK, got various reprints of the Marvel comics that were produced at the time. And these two volumes collect a bunch of those together. There is at least one other volume of these that I'm aware of as well. So what do we get in these then? Well, there's issues of the Complete Fantastic Four. Star Wars Weekly, and The Mighty World of Marvel. In Volume 2 we have Captain Britain, the greatest superhero of all. That's because he's British. Planet of the Apes and Dracula Lives. These two started off as separate weekly comics but got merged at some point. And then there's a comic I'm not familiar with called Fury, which rather obviously features some Nick Fury stories. Next we have these two DC Comic Collection volumes. Volume 1 has issues from 1988 in it. There's some Doom Patrol in here, some Captain Atom, and Who's Who in the Legion of Superheroes. There's a couple of interesting things about Volume 1. None of the issues on the cover are in here, and also a lot of them have 40p stickers on them, which must mean they've come from a comic shop or a newsagent at some point. Volume 2 is more the same. None of the issues on the front appear, but these issues are from 1989. We get some Starman in here, some Wonder Woman, and some Plastic Man. Then we have some Double comics. There's various volumes of these. So, back in the day, a company called Thorpe & Porter distributed American comics in the UK. Those issues that you couldn't sell that had their covers stripped, the ones that you would class as remainder issues, they get repackaged in groups of 4 by them, given a new cover, which doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the issues inside, and sold on again. Now, from the ones I've pulled from my collection, you'll notice I do have some doubles, or doubles even. So the one thing about these is that due to how many comics went unsold, you couldn't guarantee having the same number of issues of each. So for instance, these 2 Jimmy Olsen ones have different first issues in, but the other 3 issues are the same. And these 2 Action Double comics, whilst both numbered number 4, have completely different comics in both issues. Every now and again they wouldn't have enough DC issues, so they'd stick a Marvel one in. So here we have Avengers number 35. This other one has Avengers 51 in it. And as well as that, it also has Fantastic Four number 65. So I do like picking these up when I can find them, but what a nightmare trying to keep track of what you've got. You also do get the odd, I guess you could say, key issue in these. I know we all like to try and track the odd one down now and then, but these are coverless ones. So here's the $1 million debut of Batgirl. And here's Fright of the Scarecrow. And also that Gaggy comic that people were going a bit crazy for a while back. And lastly, a few were saying we thought he was never going to stop. I have these DC annuals. These are produced by a company called Atlas Publishing. There's a few other of these I'd like to try and pick up at some point. There's Atom, Metal Men, Green Lantern and Showcase ones. I think you can tell that they're Atlas Publishing books by these checkerboard pages that they have at the front. So again, these are unsold issues that have been repackaged. Unlike the double ones though, these are full issues. This Aquaman one has a few Aquaman issues in it. Plus a few others, including Superman and Detective Comics. This Mystery in Space one though has an issue of Unknown Worlds. And also Adventures into the Unknown, alongside the DC stuff. So again, just like the double ones, I'm assuming there weren't enough issues to do a full run. So some random ones were pulled out of a bin somewhere. Not literally a bin, but you know. Just before I do sign off though, you may well have noticed that a lot of these comics have been trimmed. I think there's only the double ones that aren't. But just to give an example of that, this Brave and the Bold one that I've got is incomplete. It has all the issues in, but 3 of them are cover only. So to try and remedy that, I've picked up those 3 issues separately. Using this Brave and the Bold issue as an example, you can see the top, bottom and edge have been trimmed off. It's not enough to affect the story though. So, have you got any of these or items like these in your collections? I'd be interested to know if you have, especially if you've got any of those DC annuals. They do seem a little bit difficult to come by these days. Anyway, that's it for this week. And look at that, we went a full episode of weekly pickups without any sound effects or strange things happening. I'm sure normal service will resume next week.